Hello and welcome everybody back to the Guru and the other guy.
Wait a
I
minute.
kind of messed up. I thought I hit the record button. I didn't do it. But here's where we are. The last episode, this guy, like always, disappears. He's in mid-form sentence talking about being fearless. He disappears in the middle of the sentence. So now we got to reshoot, and here we are back to hear the story. So just to let you know, I'm going to recap what the hell the story was. And by the way, I just told the story to me and him because I didn't hit the record button. So now I got to tell it all over again with some passion. So here we go. Here's what happened. The man goes, two other realtors had the deal. They crapped the bed. They give it to this young rookie guy and says, here, go see what you can do. So he jumps in his BMW, drives out to the farmland, sees Farmer Bob in his overalls, slaps down $1,000, says, sign my agreement of sale, we got a deal. Now, here's the problem. It's in bankruptcy, so it's a 2.5. So the Guru, smart enough to say, look, let's put a 2.5-year contract in there that I don't, 2 years, that 2 years, I don't have to go to settlement for 2 years. Guy says, no problem.
Right. I own the
2
property.
years, right now, for $1,000. Now, some people will call that an option, okay? He gave him $1,000 for an option to go to settlement in 2 years, okay? Now, the other thing that he did that was super smart was this. He put those 3 little words that every one of you should have in your contract. And those 3 words are and or assignees, okay? Now, he was able to assign that contract to anybody else. He didn't have to go to settlement. He could have sold the contract for a profit. So what did he do?
Mm-hmm. Which
yes and no. Here's what he did. He created an LLC. He went out and found 3 other investors with deep, deep pockets, created an LLC, and the 4 of them were 25% owners in this LLC. So he took that agreement of sale, and with those 3 letters and or assignees, the Guru assigned it to the LLC. Okay, now the LLC has the option to buy that property for $1 million. Now you got to remember, the only thing out of his pocket so far is $1,000. $1,000 and the knowledge to write an agreement of sale, knowing what kind of contingencies to put in there, what stuff to put in the contract itself. So now, what happened? That's where we got left off. That's where he disappeared. So what happened? Now, this, by the way, this is all about being fearless. Fearless, fearless, fearless. So, Mr. Fearless, what happens? What happens?
Yes. Well, let me just. What happened? We went to settlement, and I collected at the time a $52,000.
Hold on.
Fee.
Hold on. Question. The finder's fee. Hold on. I got a question. No. Is that over and above the realtor? Because you were a realtor at the time, yes? Okay. Okay. So you got 52,000 finder's fee.
Mm-hmm. Plus
the 6, so 60,000 for that. So you got $112,000 that you walked with. Now, why? Can I ask you a question? And I'm kind of curious. If you're a 25% partner of the LLC, how did the other guys agree to give you a $52,000 finder's fee? I would have said absolutely not. I would have never given you that.
Then you would be.
I would have said, hey, listen, I got the money. I got I got $333,000 in this deal. Why am I giving you $52,000?
Very valuable. I was the rainmaker.
When did you negotiate that $52,000? Up front, at the end, when did you negotiate that?
When I presented it to them.
Was this 3 people at one time?
No, it was only a 52. I assigned it for $52,000.
That was your assignment fee. That was your assignment fee. Okay. Yes. So it wasn't a finder fee. It was an assignment fee. Right. So
it's a spread. It's a flip.
Let me ask you something. Did they know? Did the 3 of them know that you owned it?
Yes, they know. They all knew. Plus, I got all the commissions on everything.
Okay, so go ahead. So, Bob, this is about being fearless that we're talking about, right?
Well, yeah, being fearless, but you know, you have to value yourself in whatever you do, whatever business you are. If you don't value yourself,
I absolutely love that. I love that. Yes, absolutely.
You know,
Yes, great. That's a
and
great point.
there's nothing wrong to ask people. You have something of value, yourself and the deal, and saying, yeah, if you want to be part of it, you're going to have to live with it. Listen, I talked about Jerry all the time. Jerry was a pain in the ass. I had to tell him straight out this on a
Right.
lot of deals. He wanted me to throw my fees back in. I'm like, no way.
Wait,
This
wait,
is
wait,
my
wait, wait,
living.
wait, wait. Go
This is
back to
how
that.
I make
What did he
money.
want to do?
Throw
Into
my
what?
fees in,
In
my commissions,
throw him into what?
commissions. Throw them, give it to
Oh,
the
okay,
partnership.
okay. I got you. Well, I can see his point a little bit. I see his point a tiny bit.
Well, that's because he
I
wasn't the
understand.
rainmaker.
Right. No, I
He
got
he
you.
didn't. He
Listen,
was.
I see both sides. I see your side where I would have fought tooth and nail and said, no, I got the deal. You guys wouldn't have.
See, if you
Yeah.
have options, but if you
Yeah.
have options to get rid of someone, and say, okay, you
Yeah.
don't want to do this. Hey, there's other people
Right.
out there who'll do it. And you know what? The worst you can have is a
Right.
malcontent partner, someone who resents you
Right.
for making money on
Right.
that side of it. You have to really value
Right.
what you're worth.
That's a
And
great,
if you
yep.
start compromising because partners, hey, listen, they're always
Right.
out for themselves. And but I always thought, in any business, my business is now,
Can
you
I,
got to be
can, can I,
fair
can I
to
ask you a question?
everybody.
When do you know
Yeah.
when the point is when you got to cry uncle and say, okay, I won't take the 52, but I'll like. No,
I
no, I'm
never
saying
did.
when
I
do you
never
know
did on any.
when if they push hard enough, when do you say, all right, like because listen, you were going to make money on all these other lots because you turned them into lots, right?
Yeah, but you have to look 2
I understand,
years.
right?
Then
Yeah,
I
right,
worked.
right. That's
I
only
found the
25
deal.
grand a year. When you spread out the time versus the money, it's not a lot of money. It's a lot of money when you get it, but not a lot. Yeah, right.
My
I
time, that's
got
what
you.
I explained. Well, Jerry wasn't involved with that
Right,
deal, thank God. But my saying my time. Plus, I had an
right,
assistant by that point
right,
that I paid. One of the few that ever had
right.
in the beginning. So there were expenses I
Yeah,
had, marketing. There's things that
right,
go into it. So my big 52 and the 60,
right.
that was nice. But my big
At the end.
payday was
Right,
well
right,
down the
right.
road.
So
Yeah,
so let me
it
so let
was
me
well
ask you
down
this.
the road.
So let's just say a student who doesn't know a lot found this deal, right?
Hmm.
Was smart enough to keep himself in the LLC as a partner and just didn't assign it and give it away, to me, that's
Hmm.
the moral of the story
Hmm.
there. You were smart enough to stay.
Well, I had
No,
2 years to
I
do it.
understand,
I
but what
had
I'm
two
saying, a
years.
lot of the people out there, what I'm saying is a lot of the people out there, Guru, they're going to assign a contract, but they're just going to take their money and run and not stay a part of it. You were smart enough to,
Yeah, well, that was the worst
right?
case scenario then, because what I could do is, if I couldn't find anybody, well, I could have
Oh,
sold the
right, right,
contract.
yes,
I could
yeah,
have assigned it to
yeah, to
Joe
anybody you
Blow
wanted.
and
Yeah,
said, okay, I want a hundred
yeah,
thousand dollars
right,
or
whatever you wanted,
whatever I
right,
wanted,
right, right,
and I
yeah,
would have won more than that. But in 2 years, the damn
yeah,
appreciated.
yeah,
They went from a million probably to
yeah,
$1.4 million,
yeah,
just raw
yeah.
land.
So let me ask you.
Um,
So let me ask you this then.
so that's. I always believe tying things up
Well,
with the
by
escape
the way,
clauses.
right. So let me just say this to everybody out there. So basically, what the guru did was he used what is called an option to buy this land. He tied this land up for $1,000 for 2 years, and he could have walked away at any time. But here's this: the seller was obligated to sell it to the guru, right? He could not take
Hmm.
that property, and it was 2 years later. It went up to 4,400,000. The guy Farmer Bob couldn't say, "Hey, Guru, you're out. I could get 1,400,000. I'm not
Yeah.
taking your $1,000,000." And he couldn't do it
Well,
because
this
if he
is the
did,
piece. This
he
is
had
the.
The guru had, just
Listen.
let me explain, the guru had what is called equitable interest in the property. And there would have been a cloud on the title. So no one else could have bought that property.
Well, to end this story on a side note, him and I became, here's a
Yeah.
guy in
Yeah, you
overalls,
became
literally
friends.
wore
Right.
overalls every day. And he was in his early 60s, but
Right.
he looked 80 because he went through
Yeah, that
financial
sucks.
hell. So we go
Yeah.
to settlement. Charlie goes to settlement
Right.
with his wife. Um, so
Yeah.
everybody leaves, and I tell my office, my assistant, listen, I'm that time was my first store. I'm spending the whole day tomorrow. I don't want any phone calls with my
Right.
daughter.
Right.
That's it. I get a phone call from my
Yeah.
assistant, and I said, this has to be important. She said, yeah. She said, Charlie went to the zoning hearing. He was still a
Right.
zoning
Yeah.
officer.
Yeah.
You kind of
Yeah.
conflict of interest. And I said, well, what happened? She said, he
Oh my God.
died. He had a
That's
heart
horrible.
attack at the meeting. So what he did was he held on for his wife because the whole time he was telling me, this
Yeah.
is for my wife,
Sad.
my
Oh my
older
God. That's sad.
children.
Sad.
And he held on
Right.
long enough.
Dude, that's
At
so
the
sad.
meeting.
So sad. You know. But
Yeah.
but the wife and the daughter were
But
taken care of though.
the rewarding thing is his wife. Yeah, and her
Right.
name was Gladys. I can
Right.
still
Right.
remember her name. The whole thing is, I was able to help him, and had a sad ending, but he
Right.
did
Which is
provide
that's
for
that's
him.
the
And
good thing. Like even though you did well
yeah,
financially, he accomplished what he wanted to do was set his wife and his children up for their life.
but you ever hear the ceiling?
Yeah.
Fake it till you make it. I sort
But
of
you
did
were
that with
young
that
though,
deal,
right? You were young.
but I knew I
Right.
had 2 years.
And you were smart enough, but see,
I was going to write it for
here's
90 days, and I
but
had to
but
get an
here's
extension
yeah,
and an extension
but
and
here's
an
what I
extension.
like. I like the fact that you were smart enough at a young age to know to tie it up basically with an option, right? And to go out and assign the contracts, right? Assign the contracts and
Right.
keep yourself a part of the deal where you made a lot of money yet later on.
Yeah.
That's the
Well, you
key.
see,
Make you keep yourself when you got a deal like this, keep yourself a part of the deal.
the thing is, too,
Yeah.
back then, we knew about
Okay.
installment sales
Right.
contracts. Nobody was using them. Nobody was, but we were
Love them.
using them.
I'm
So
the guru of that. I love them. Yeah.
knew it. These new polluted things you
Yeah.
talk about to me,
Oh, I
they're
agree.
bullshit.
Listen, I don't listen.
It's just
I only
bullshit
tell
to
you
me.
what these frauds are out there talking about.
Listen, I'm pretty good, but I couldn't even believe
They're
some of
they're
these.
kept. This
what-
guru. They are full of baloney. 99%. That's why we're out here. We're the anti-gurus, right? Because these guys are such frauds out there talking about subject to financing and this, that, and the other thing. They're just so full of baloney.
Well, it's all
Yes.
flash. I
Oh,
watch some
my
of these
God.
guys.
They're marketers.
And I'm going to say
They're
it right
marketers.
now, this guy with this guy with the beard
They're
and
marketers.
the hat.
He's a marketer.
This guy, I mean,
Marketers.
he talks,
Slick. Mr. Slickster.
but they don't
Right.
evidence.
Right. Well, we're going to wrap it up with that because we're running out of time. But this is what we're going to do.
Yeah,
but here's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
We're going to pick it up on our next thing. We're going to jump in exactly where we're leaving off right now, which is these.
One a week. We're going to do.
Yeah,
one
we're
a
gonna
week.
we're
Is
gonna
that
do
what
one a
we're doing?
week, right? And hopefully
Okay.
the guru will buy a better camera because if we look at him, he looks horrible. So how about go out
Well,
there?
I
Why don't
was
you
in
spend a
Florida
couple? Why don't you
last
spend a
one,
couple
now.
of dollars
I mean,
on a
that's
better
beautiful
camera and
ocean
maybe a
city.
light and a microphone? Because the fans out there are not going to like looking at you. Look,
I'm a cheap
I mean,
bastard.
dude,
What can I
it
tell
just
you?
looks horrible. Like, I mean, it's
Does it?
pathetic.
What do you mean?
Well,
What looks horrible? The
well,
lighting?
I
or
was.
something? I think I look
The
pretty
camera
good.
that you have is atrocious. Absolutely atrocious.
Well, it's an Apple. It's
Well,
an Apple
I'm telling
laptop.
you, when you see
I'm
the
telling
footage, you're going to see how good I look, even though I'm fat and bald. Listen,
Is-
I'm fat and I'm bald, but at least I'm clear. I'm looking at you, and you are like
Yeah.
fuzzy, terrible picture. Yeah,
Is it
it's
really?
horrible.
Yeah.
So, but we will pick it up. Listen, we're
Yeah.
gonna pick it up.
We better get. Can we get another sponsor? Maybe our
All right,
sponsor
we'll see
is.
if we can spot. If
You know.
anybody wants to buy the Guru a decent camera and a light, so we'll see if we can make that happen by
Yeah.
the next
All right.
podcast. Okay. Listen, I love the
All right.
story. Be
Okay.
fearless. Wait,
And it's true,
value
the thing
value
is,
yourself.
true story.
Right.
It's
It's
not
right.
the
It's a real
bullshit
story.
stories
Right.
that these guys
So
tell.
listen to
Yeah.
what we're telling you. Value yourself. Value your talent. Right. Be fearless. Don't be afraid.
Time.
Right. Value
time.
your time. And listen, be fearless. Don't be afraid of anything out there. Nothing bad's going to happen. So, everybody, have a great weekend. Okay. I appreciate you coming.
Peace
So
out.
thank you. We're going to sign off the Guru and the other guy. We're trying to figure out who's who here. So, maybe one day we will. You can help us out. All right, everybody. Enjoy. We'll see you on
All
the
right,
next one.
man.
And the Gurus
All right.
we're going to bury
See
the
ya.
Gurus. See you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.
See you, bye.
Go. So we're going to be rolling right about now, and so let me give the intro to the folks. So, hello everybody, welcome to the Guru and the other guy. We're what we call the anti-guru because we hate gurus. My name is Vinny. There's the other guy, and what we're going to do is we're going to talk to you about real estate investing, but we're going to give you the no bull crap spin. We're just going to tell you the truth. We're going to give you real life information. Kev, I'm going to give them the Guru and the other guy intro. So here we go. Hold on for 1 second.
Okay.
Let's get the intro rolling. Hold on. I'm going to start talking. So, other guy, what would you like to talk about right now?
Well,
I'm leaving it wide open to you.
Well,
Go ahead.
I sent you the report today that
About the market.
the market's a 13-year low,
Yeah.
and it's things aren't moving, and I believe it's the interest rate.
Whoa,
I think
whoa,
people
whoa.
can't afford.
Okay.
They can't afford what they could months and months ago, and
Okay.
which it makes it advantageous for your students, because especially the properties that are not in that great a condition, but they're rentable.
Okay.
You know, not the really desirable that people don't want to live in, but they
Right.
could do the creative finance to buy it
Okay.
and to put renters in there. I think it's perfect for this market.
All right. I kind of agree, but I have a question for you. All right. I got a
Yeah.
question for you. Do you think it's just interest rate that's holding down this market? Meaning this. Everybody who purchased homes the last few years, the interest rates were, 2-3%. Okay, which gives you a
Right.
lot of buying power. The lower the rate, the more money, the more you can borrow, the bigger home you can buy, right? Because the rates are
Right.
lower, which means your payments are lower. Okay.
Right.
With the rates going as high as they are, you're saying that's what's stopping the
Well, no,
market.
I think it's inflation. I think everything costs more.
Okay.
So it's
Well,
putting, so the cost of getting a mortgage, and I think people are freaked out that, one, they have to put down more money. One, the payments are going. Two, the payments are going to be more.
right.
Three, their grocery bills are going up.
Hold on. I got a
So
question.
I
Hold
think-
on. I got a question for you. Why are you saying the you got to put more money down? Where's that coming from? Because I know. Listen, because I'm
I
just
think
listen,
if you're not,
I'm
I
just,
don't.
hold on. Let me just say this.
A conventional buyer, you're going to have to put more. If your credit's a little bit.
I got you. But let me.
suspect.
All right. Okay. Let me just say this. Right.
Mm-hmm.
For those that don't know, my wife, I owned a mortgage company for
That's
over
right.
30 years.
Yeah.
My wife is still in
Right.
the business. She owns a mortgage company now. I retired. I do this with the other guy, and we talk about this. But she's doing programs right now, Kev, with 1% down with no mortgage insurance that's out there. So,
But
I
you know
don't
the
think-
rates are higher.
Right. Yes, the rates are higher, and I think that is what you were saying. Why it's suppressing the market. right?
Can you get seller contributions on those programs?
Yeah, you can. You can get a seller contribution. Yes, you can. It's a great program. It is a great program.
How about okay? How about what is the percentage? 8%? No, it can't be 8%.
It's whatever the current rates are, but it's all credit score driven. You know, as your scores go
Yeah,
lower, your rates go higher.
right.
So if anybody is interested in getting a loan with 1% down, hey, just give us a ring, right? You can see
Yeah, because
all
you
you got to do
need a
is text the
real
word
good
gold.
mortgage.
Yeah, you do. You need it. Yeah, absolutely.
You
So
really, and that's where your expertise
yep,
starts and ends, in my
yep.
opinion. But
Yeah.
that's
So if anybody's interested in getting a loan, all you got to do is follow the screen down below. So, okay. So, Kev, so the market, I agree with you. It's brutal. Now, I know I've got a bunch of students that are out there looking for creative financing deals and everything like that. Now, I will tell you this. Compared to 6-9 months ago, they wouldn't even answer the phone. They were like, get it, beat it, right? They wouldn't even talk
right.
to us. And the reason why is because, again, in our last podcast, we said most sellers, you want to take
Sorry
care of
about
that?
that.
All right.
Yeah, I killed it.
Most sellers are just going to put a for sale sign in the lawn, and then that's the end of it. Okay.
Right.
Now, like you said, but here's the thing. It is harder, but here's the thing. There's less properties on the market, so they don't have a lot. The buyers now don't have a lot of choice. Not a lot of choice out there right now. So, you know, the only thing is their buying power has shrunk so much. So, you know, it's a difficult market to try and really put your handle on, in my opinion. It
But
is
that it leaves an opportunity for like the properties. I'm not going to call them blighted, but
right.
the ones that really need
They're not pretty. Let's call
they're
them
just
not pretty.
ugly.
Okay, ugly homes.
Curbside
That's a good
appeal.
word. Okay, I like that. Ugly homes. Okay.
So they're the properties the students or creative financing probably could turn into a sale if
Yep.
they know what they're doing.
Right. Well,
That's the
there you
thing.
go. There's the key to everything. Kev, before we got onto this podcast earlier, I got an
Hmm.
email from a guru, right? Join my podcast. And I know this is
Right.
an old one because let me tell you this. I heard this one 4 years ago. It's the same one. And literally these gurus are such a joke in what they tell people. But because nobody knows about creative financing and how it works, they can say whatever the hell they want and people believe
Oh,
it.
sure.
Let me tell you this. Let me tell you what he said. There was, and again, this is an older video, right? He said, "So
Right.
I've got my student here with me from Texas. She sounded, and I don't want to say this negatively, but you know when just some people just don't sound with credibility, or sometimes sometimes we're crude and we just say they sound like a box of rocks, right?
Right.
Well, basically, no, in my opinion, zero credibility. So here's what's his thing. He
Right.
says, "Oh yeah, I got this deal, and here I did it under a lease. No, he bought it under subject to Kev. Sales price was 200 and I think $39,000, 229, right? But he only won it 1.8. It was $69,000 spread between what he was selling it for and what it was worth. But here's the thing: it needed no repairs. $3,000 in repairs, Kev. $3,000, right? And then he only put $2,500 for closing costs, which means he had to transfer the deed. And then, right? So he gets this thing $80,000 under value, right? On a perfect house that needs nothing. And then he says he turns around 18 days later and sells it for $20,000 over the fair market value. Not what he paid for it, over the fair market value. Oh, and then I got a $30,000 deposit on a non-refundable lease purchase 2-year balloon. And I'm
Well,
like
first
thinking,
of all, lease per. You know how I feel
listen,
about lease
I know, but what I'm
purchases.
saying, Kev, but what I'm saying is this: the guru is saying, "Look how much money I made." Now, if I put everybody in a room, and I said, "Listen, everybody, I know you don't know anything about real estate. I just want to give
Yeah.
you the flat-out numbers, the numbers, just the
Yeah.
numbers. The numbers don't lie. You have a seller that's going to give you his house for what he owes, 189, but it's worth 260, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's giving you $70,000 of equity for no reason, just handing it to you.
Yeah.
But 15 days later, somebody pays 270, right? So like 270, whatever it was, 250.
Right.
Okay. Somebody pays 270 for it, $20,000 more than what it's worth, actual value. And I'm going to say to you, who's selling their property and leaving $70,000 on the table, and who's paying $20,000 more than what it's worth? Now, in a bidding war, in a seller's market, yes, I agree that people will overpay by 20 grand in a seller's market. But if it's a seller's market, how did the guy who's selling it leave $70,000 on the table? It can't be both ways.
No.
But people want to believe everything they hear with these gurus. That's why I hate them. Right? And this guy charges a fortune. I'm the greatest of all time. I'm the greatest of all time. Like, yeah, okay. Sure you are. Like, stop. It's just, oh, my God.
You know, it's hard to tell these. It's the sad part. It's hard to tell these either young guys, girls, or people who are older, but they're just jumping. They think they can do it.
Right.
You know, buy real estate and no money down. It's very difficult to talk to them because they won't get it until they fail and they spend a lot of money.
Right.
And at that point, you know, maybe they're ready to listen, but then they have no money, and now they're
right.
You know,
they destroyed their career already. They've already gone ahead.
Yeah, and they broke their will.
Right. Right.
Enthusiasm.
Right.
That's what I wanted to talk to you.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, one thing, starting years ago, we started a long time ago.
Yeah,
I always say,
I'm close to almost 40 years ago.
I always said you have to be fearless, but there's a saying, you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's great.
So I'm in the office. This goes back. This was my biggest deal, was 400 lots.
Okay.
But 2 guys failed in the office.
Okay.
They never wanted to tell me about this guy. So they said, okay, let's give it to him.
Okay.
You know,
yep.
Let's see what he can do.
Okay.
So I drive down there in my BMW.
Right.
I go onto a farm.
Okay.
And here's Charlie. It's Charlie, but I'm going to say his last name.
Okay. No, don't say any last
name.
name.
And so I think I learned. Now I was maybe 10 years in the business, and I was doing a lot of things. But I listened, and I said, okay, Charlie, what's the situation? He says, well, I'm the planner for this township.
Okay.
And I'm in bankruptcy, but these 4 farms, I put it in residential.
Okay.
So he kind of...
Did he subdivide them already? Were they subdivided? They're just sitting there,
They're subdivided. They're all subdivided.
So you got 4 farms.
Parcels. Yeah, parcels. 4 farms.
Did they go through any of the engineering, any of the phases?
Yeah, he did everything.
So he did phase 1?
He just couldn't find a buyer. He wasn't looking. He couldn't find a buyer. So he said, this farm I'm saving. I was right there. He was in overall. I don't understand. Right. I'm in a friggin' and BMWs back then, they made your head spin. When you were driving one, not like today, they're garbage anyway. That's another story.
Everybody has one.
Yeah. So I'm there, the hood of my car, black BMW. I said, okay, Charlie, what do you want? He said to me, well, this is the price I want. I said, done.
How much was the price?
And you have to go.
How long ago was this?
Well, back then it was over $1 million, but today it would be like
$5 million.
$5 million.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
he said, so $1 million he wanted. Okay.
He said, you have to walk me through bankruptcy court in Reading. I'm like, sure. So I take out the sales agreement. I write it up. Me as the buyer, $1,000 down, which I kept $1,000.
Right.
A year and a half, I made 2 appearances at the Reading bankruptcy court. The judge said, "Are you buying it?" I said, "Yeah."
Hold on,
Didn't ask me where my financing was.
Time out. I got a question. Did you do this with a normal agreement of sale? Did you do it under an option? How did you do it?
$1,000 contingent on financing.
Okay, but did you have any kind of time frame on the in the agreement?
It was 2 years.
2 years. Was it assignable? The contract.
Signed it to a group that I created afterwards.
All right. So
I
okay. So you
assigned
made
it to
assigned
them.
You assigned
I
it to a
kept a
group.
portion.
Okay.
It was me as an individual.
Yeah.
I assigned it
To
to
your
four
LLC.
partners,
Okay.
and I was part of that partnership.
Right. Okay.
I kept a big portion.
Okay.
I mean, I kept
Yeah.
some
Yeah. You
money
kept
in
your share.
between.
Sure.
But this is the thing: the judge does. He just twice. He said, "Are you buying it still?" The first time, "Are you buying it?" Yes.
Yeah.
The second time, "Are you buying it still?" Yes. Never asked for financials.
Right.
Never wanted a mortgage commitment. It was like, okay.
Right.
And it turned into be 400 lots.
Right. Wow. 400
My
lots.
whole thing was,
Well, I got a question for you. Hold on. I got a question for the folks. They're going to want to know. So, how did you get the financing for it? Because everyone's going to say that sounds great. I got $1,000. Where am I getting the million from? Where'd you get the million from?
well, I put together 4 people. 3 of them were
So
associates.
3 other people. So it's
business
you.
people.
Hold on. You plus
Yeah.
3 others. Okay. And the
3
3 others.
No, me plus 3 others. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I got. You plus 3 others. Now the 3 others, they put up what? The down payment?
Deep pockets.
Yeah,
Very
gotcha.
deep pockets.
Did they pay? Did you guys pay cash for it, or did you finance it? What did you do?
We paid cash for it.
All right,
but
so-
it was deep pockets from my partner.
Right, but you didn't put up any money.
$1,000.
No, that's what I'm saying.
And
The
I got
original.
money back at the settlement.
Okay, so the 3 others, they put up the $1 million. Now, how did you find those guys? Because everyone's going to want to know. How do I?
Well,
find
because I
these
was
guys?
in business, I had contacts.
Okay,
I networked.
okay,
I
understood.
knew people.
Okay, I got
I
you.
could have gotten.
Could you have put it?
guys
Could you have put an ad in the paper? Hey, I'm selling this. Like,
that.
what's that? I know you didn't. I'm talking about the people out there that want to try and do what you did. You just disappeared. Where you at? The other guy just totally disappeared. Hello? He's gone. He's gone. Well, as he's gone, right, and we got some technical difficulties with him, right? I will follow up with some of the stuff until he comes back. So yeah, you can do deals like this. So what basically, there's other options you could have done. You could have given him $1,000 with an option to buy it 2 years later. What the other guy did is he did this, right? He did. That's actually the other guy on the line. Hello, other guy. I'm actually entertaining the folks while you're doing whatever you're doing. Where are you?
You said it ended on my end.
I'm still going.
Oh, so you're gonna have to finish it because then it said. Let me see. No, it said ended.
Well, would you like me to pause this and so we can go again?
Yeah, come back.
I have to create another